moved to Houston all alone. I was craving change, a new environment, a new pace, and a version of myself that I hadn't met yet. And yes, I moved closer to someone I cared about. I moved for love, but I learned quickly that this journey was really all about me. What I didn't expect is that even when love is nearby, starting over can still feel so lonely. Some days I feel lost, not in a dramatic way, just in that quiet, in between space where you just really aren't settled in yet. And then there are days I remind myself that change is a process, not a moment. Nothing about starting over is instant. I felt lonely. I miss my best friend, and not having my person nearby has been so hard. I'm also a hairstylist, so moving meant starting over completely. New clients, new routines, and new connections. Nothing carried over. Changes feels different when you're alone. There's no one to fall back on every day. It's just you figuring things out. But I don't regret it. The isolation taught me so much about myself. It taught me what I need and what I don't, and how strong I actually am. I don't think anyone should be afraid of starting over or trying a new city. It's uncomfortable, but it's not wrong. You just have to trust yourself and trust God through the process. So, if you're in a season of starting over and doing life on your own or trusting God through change, this video is just for you. I know you guys are probably like, wow, Heaven, this is such a different video. Like, I don't think I've ever made a video like this. I'm used to just doing vlogs, but I just wanted to touch bases with everyone because this is a highly requested video. A lot of people have just been asking me, how has my process been going? Me getting up and moving to another state, starting over. And all I really genuinely have to say is that I never truly had a plan. It was just like a faith thing. Like, I just put my faith in everything. And I told myself that I could go anywhere around the world and I can do what I was put on this earth to do. Like, I could get up and I can go do hair anywhere. I can get up, I can go create content anywhere. Me having that mindset is honestly why I'm not really afraid to do anything, because if you know, you know. I'm originally from Ohio, but I moved to Atlanta all by myself. As soon as I graduated high school, I moved to Atlanta all by myself. Like, I didn't have no help. Like, I just jumped up and left and I started my own life for myself. So this is really something that's not new to me. It's just a new process all over. And it's just different this time because I'm truly isolated now. When I moved to Atlanta, I had like friends and stuff. I knew people in Atlanta. Like, it was so easy for me to adapt in Atlanta. But Houston, it's just not, it just hasn't been that easy for me as it was when I moved to Atlanta. I just moved here and I just like, whatever. Because I'm not going to lie, when I was living in Ohio, I always said I wanted to live in Texas, but I didn't expect for it to just go as it did. I honestly just got up and left. Like, honestly, like, it was something I always wanted to do, but I did move to Houston, be closer to a loved one. So that also played a big role in my like leave. I have a really close relationship with God, and I just knew that like I could just do it. Like, you can do it. Like, you can literally do anything you put your mind to. You just literally have to put in the work. That's like the major thing. You have to put in the work. Another thing that people don't really mention is the loneliness. The loneliness that you go through when you just isolate yourself. Like, me completely moving here, this is probably the loneliest I've ever felt in my life. Like, I don't think I've ever felt more lonely. And I don't know if you guys watch my recent videos, I literally had to take a break from like social media and like YouTube. I was in such a weird space. I was never used to being so lonely. I always had somebody. I do have someone here, but I still feel lonely. And I don't know, I can't really explain the feeling, but it's just like the isolation is like crazy. The loneliness when the excitement wears off from me moving, it was just like, wow, like, whoa, I really just did this. Like, this is crazy. Really never felt this lonely in my life. And that's really why I took a break, because I didn't know how to handle my loneliness in December. December, everything hit me. It just felt so weird. Like, my life just felt so weird. I'm not used to being lonely. It just put me in such a really weird space. And I had to really start trying to figure out how to cope with loving myself and being lonely and being comfortable doing things by myself. Now I go to the movies and stuff by myself. I do everything by myself. I go on walks by myself. I go out to eat by myself. And I really had to put my mind into you can do everything by yourself. You don't need anyone. I've always had that feeling as a little girl that I've always needed someone. Even in like my everyday life, I don't know why. I'm one of those people who's never been single. Like I'm always in a relationship. I always feel like I need a person to make me happy. And I really feel like God put me in this situation for a reason because now I don't feel like that anymore. I'm starting to get self-love. And it's crazy because soon as I moved, right before I moved, I was just saying, "Oh my gosh, like I'm so busy. Like, oh my gosh, I wish I had time, more time." Cuz you guys know I'm a hairstylist. And when I was living in Atlanta, like I was overly booked up. I was like, "Oh my god, like I wish I had some free time to learn more about myself other than just my clients. Like I wish I had more time for my content and everything." And then like as soon as I moved, it's like God answered my prayers. He put me in the position to where I'm isolated and I moved. And soon as I got the free time, it took me so long to learn how to deal with that because I'm not used to that. I'm used to being busy. I'm used to not having a free mind. Now I have a free mind. It's just so weird. It's just so weird because I'm always doing something or I'm always with someone. Yes, I work, but I don't work as much anymore because you guys know I have to build, like I had to build a whole new clientele and all of that. It's such a drastic change, but it taught me a lot, honestly. Nobody talks about the silence. I literally had to learn how to comfort myself. I had to learn how to keep myself happy, keep myself going, love everything about me. Cause you're alone. Like I can't call my best friend and be like, come over or let me come over. Like, let's chill, let's watch a movie, like let's do this. Or like all the friends that I have there. And it's just like I have to learn how to keep myself happy. But nobody talks about that part. Like I feel like no one talks about that part of it. And it's crazy because like I said, even with someone nearby, I still feel alone here. Like I feel so isolated. I feel so alone. I feel so lonely. The next topic is me having to start over as a hairstylist. Me having to start over as a hairstylist wasn't the hardest part because at the end of the day, I am a hustler. I know how to put myself out there. I know how to get me some money. I know how to, I'm used to it because I had to do it when I moved to Atlanta. I had to put myself out there. I had to do the promos. I had to do the deals and all of that. So, and then I also have an audience. A lot of you guys, a lot of the people that came to me were people from who watch me on YouTube and stuff. So I'm not going to say that part was hard for me because it honestly wasn't. And I'm actually so grateful for that. But I'm not going to lie, like when I first moved out here, the first month, I didn't have really much clients and it really messed with my confidence so much. Like I had to rebuild my confidence. Like, Heaven, you know you got this. You just have to put in the work. And it's so crazy when I talk about the loneliness because the devil loves to get you when you're alone and isolated. Isolation is when the enemy tries to get you the most. There was so many nights where I'm just home. I'm like, "Oh my God, why did I do this? Like this is terrible. I should have never did this." Like I don't have the first month I moved here, I'm like, I don't have any clients. Like I don't know what to do. Like, I'm going crazy. Like I'm stressing, I'm crying, I'm up. But in reality, I had to learn patience. And that is one of the most things that I'm grateful I learned because looking back, I'm thinking like, wow, like I don't think I've ever had this much patience in my life. I'm really sitting back and trusting the process with my life right now. Like I'm 22. Y'all know we got social media. I see other 22-year-olds. I'm like, dang, like they millionaires. Everybody's millionaires. Everybody just doing this. Everybody doing that. And I just really had to learn like patience matters. Everything that's for you is going to be for you. Everything that is meant to come to you is going to come to you. That was like one of the hardest things that I had to learn because it's like you really got to trust the process. Like you really have to trust the process. And that was like my biggest critic, I feel like, because I'm so afraid of being a failure. I'm like terrified of being a failure. Terrified. That is like my biggest fear, being a failure. So that first month was like, oh my God. But all I had to do was just like pray, keep my mind motivated, and just like try to talk to loved ones, have my loved ones send me prayers and stuff. And I eventually just got better. Right now, I'm in such a great space. I don't know. Soon as 2026 hit, I told you guys this was December when I was feeling like this. Soon as 2026 hit, I just had a whole spirit change. I'm okay. I'm fine. I was going through it in December. I was like, oh my God, why did I do this? Like I was doing so good and I was doing so good in Atlanta. Like I didn't need to do this. I didn't need to start over and change. But I learned so much about myself. So I don't regret it. I literally don't regret anything that I did. I've learned so much. And I feel like me being here and isolated has developed my character so much. And I'm just grateful for that, honestly. My next topic is what isolation taught me. Isolation will either make or break you, literally. Either you're going to crash and burn or you're going to realize and sit back and learn yourself and go to the next version of yourself, like your best version of yourself. I stopped running from myself and I learned what I actually need. I never thought that I needed the things that I need. Well, I've always known it, but I've never really had the time to sit back and really just be like, dang, I need to do this with my life. I need to fix this. I need to fix this. I need to get this together. It was so much. I feel like I became more intentional. I feel like I trust myself more now. And I also feel like I have different boundaries now. It's so crazy because I literally pray for this. I pray for everything. I pray for everything that is going on in my life, honestly. And it's happening. And then when it happens, it's just like, wow, wait, you don't really know that you're living in what you pray for. So that's why I tell people, like, just be grateful, because honestly, when you're feeling sad sometimes, it's like, wow, like you really never realized that you're literally living what you pray for. It might not be like exactly what you pray for, but it's steps to getting exactly what you pray for, because you have to go through things to get to the top for sure. I have some advice for anyone who wants to start over. God does not give clarity all at once. I tell my past self that everything is going to be okay and just have faith. You are your biggest critic at the end of the day. If you feel like you want to do it, do it. You can do anything you put your mind to. I mean, for me, I told you guys, like, I'm fearless. I literally got out of high school, didn't go to college. I didn't plan for no colleges. I moved and I started me a business and I just elevated and I just literally like went from a whole nother level. I literally come from nothing. I come from nothing to making six figures in a year, my first year being a hairstylist. Like, that was such a drastic change for me. That was crazy for me. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you for being here with me. This season hasn't been easy, but it's been real for sure. Starting over has taught me that growth doesn't always look loud or exciting. I'm still figuring things out. I don't have everything together yet, but I'm learning to trust myself more and to trust God more, even when I don't see the full picture. If you're in a season where you're feeling alone and uncertain and just like you're rebuilding everything from scratch, then I hope this video reminded you that you're not behind and that you're not doing life wrong. Whatever season that you're in, I hope that you choose yourself, trust God, and keep going. Thank you for watching and listening to me, and thank you for coming through this chapter with me. There is many more to come. I actually like these sit down videos. I think I'm gonna do these more. I think my next video is going to be a girls talk. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We are on the road to 30K, guys. 30 freaking K. 30K. But yeah, love you guys. I hope you guys like this video.